Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on the news at 3. I am Olayinka Ilori. First, the main points. Oyebanji renews commitments to human capital development. Adeleke approves loan for cooperative societies, SMEs. Dozens die in fresh Plateau bandit attack. Ghana sacks national team head coach Hilton. The news in details. The Ekiti State government says that it will continue to fulfill its agenda on human capital development by investing heavily into the education sector. Governor Biodun Oyebanji made the statement while declaring open the meeting of the All Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Public Secondary Schools, ANCOS, Southwest Block held in Ado-Ekiti. BSCS reporter Adedayo Adeleye completes the story.
At the forum were ANCOS members drawn from the southwest state of Ekiti, Osun, Ondo, Ogun, Oyo and Lagos. Governor Oyebanji, who was represented by his deputy Okinlo Amunisade Afuye, said that principals were central in the attainment of secondary school education and the need for them to continue to be proactive in discharge of their duties. According to him, the state government, through the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, had injected over 2 billion naira for massive renovation and upgrade of schools across the state to enhance conducive environments for learning.
Other areas of intervention in the secondary school included provision of science equipment, training of teachers in ICT, perimeter fencing to secure the schools, provision of information and communication technology gadgets in schools, implementation of outstanding financial benefit of promotion, payment of right fees, distribution of JAM form to the service students, and regular payment of running grants, to mention but a few.
Governor Oyebanji charged the principals to use the opportunity to create cordial relationship with staff to ensure high productivity in their respective schools. He said that the present administration had established a good relationship with Ekiti ANCOS and teachers, assuring them that government will always support ANCOS in order for it to achieve its objectives.
I therefore encourage you to use all the distillate method to ensure that your students always excel in their examinations. I also advise that you prevail on parents to be responsible and fulfill their obligation towards their children.
Earlier, the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Bimpe Aderiye, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Folakemi Olomojobi, charged ANCOS members to use the forum to provide solutions to various challenges confronting education in the region.
On behalf of our elected governor, I'm delighted to have you here, and I know that it is even better because this meeting has been held here.
The chairman Southwest Block of ANCOS, Mr. Mojisola Ojetunde, and the state ANCOS president, Mrs. Adekemi Olukwade, thanked the state government for providing the needed tools for teaching and learning.
We should be effective in administering various schools and also key ourselves into various policies of the state government, because this government belongs to us.
They said that the aims and objectives of the ANCOS were geared towards ensuring qualitative secondary education through constant relationship with the government. Adedayo Adeleye reporting.
And the Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, has promised to address the issue of non-implementation of car and housing loans for primary school teachers in the state. He made the promise in his office in Ado during a meeting with educational secretaries in the state. Our reporter, Toba Babalola, has the details.
Governor Oyebanji, who described the forum as a family meeting, noted that it was towards the improvement of the state's education sector. The education secretaries who acknowledged the governor's impacts in the sector spoke about issues that affected teachers in respective council areas. This included better stipends for seminars, implementation of teachers' promotion from level 15 to 16, provision of car and house loans for primary school teachers, payment of salary and leave bonus areas, deployment of teachers to rural areas, recruitment of non-teaching staff, amongst others.
Primary school, they believe the government has given them the go ahead to go and do degree. They believe they are now at par with their counterparts in secondary school.
Equally, for example,
Obiakorele, we find it very difficult to staff this area, sir. In the past, there used to be something like rural allowance or whatever.
So yes, if the government can provide a machine to teachers to pay on this amount. So I want to say, sir, you are even more than the general, sir. Because you have gotten enough up there, sir, to organize the defeat of ignorance and to organize the defeat of to banish poverty in our land.
The State Head of Service, Mr. Sunday Komolafe, Subeb Chairman, Professor Femi Akewumi, and Commissioner for Education, Dr. Bimpe Aderiye, contributed to some of the issues raised. Governor Oyebanji explained the roles of teachers on his emergence, as the governor said his government stands on its promise to always prioritize their welfare. The state governor declared the non-inclusion of primary school teachers in the provision of car and housing loans and promised to address the issue as soon as possible.
The teachers are so clear to me. I don't want to be in their bad books because I made a pledge to them. They supported me and are still supporting me. And I know that I have not done most of what I promised them. But in spite of that, they are one of the few sectors that have not complained because they see me as one there. On the issues of the campus, I will visit that. On the great enhancement, I will expect a paper from you, sir.
On other issues raised, the governor promised to look into them, including the discrepancies between the area education officers and education secretaries. The governor promised not to interfere in the forthcoming NUT election in the state. Toba Babalola reporting.
The Ondo State Governor, Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has dissolved the State Executive Council with immediate effect. Aiyedatiwa also sacked all senior special assistants SSAs and special assistants SAs. The governor took over the reins of leadership in the state following the death of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. The Osun State government has approved 1 billion naira loan scheme for cooperative societies, small and medium-sized enterprises in the state. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke, who announced the release of the money in a statement, said his administration was happy to fulfill one of its key promises during its campaign season. This is the broadcasting service of Ekiti State. For news, information, or comments, send to bscsnewsroom@gmail.com. The Enugu State Independent Electoral Commission says the local government election scheduled for February 24 has been postponed to October 5. The chairman of the commission, Dr. Mike Ajogu, announced this in a statement in Enugu. Ajogu said the postponement followed the court order requesting the commission to adjust its original guidelines and timetable published in the official Gazette of Enugu State on September 26, 2023. About 30 persons have been killed in Plateau State in the early hours of today by gunmen who attacked a village in Mangu local government area of the state. It was gathered that the victims, who were mostly women and children, had run to the house of a community leader in the area on Tuesday night for safety following an earlier unrest during the day in Mangu town when the gunmen surrounded them and killed all of them. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Alabo Alfred, said he had yet to get the report of the incident when contacted. President Bola Tinubu has departed Abuja for Paris, France. A statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajurin Gilale, said the journey was a private visit. He will return to the country in the first week of February. On the foreign scene, report says the death toll from the landslides that struck a remote and mountainous part of southern West China has reached 34 today. The pre-dawn landslide buried 18 homes and sparked the evacuation of more than 200 people when it struck in Yunnan province early Monday. The report by state broadcaster CCTV confirmed that the toll had risen by 3. And to sport, the Ghana Football Association has sacked Chris Hultin as head coach of the senior national team with immediate effect. Hilton was sacked following Black Stars' woeful performance and eventually exit from the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. Cameroon scored twice with time taken away on Tuesday to snatch a dramatic 3-2 win over Gambia, secure an African Cup of Nations last 16th place, and eliminate Ghana from the tournament. To end the news at 3, here again are the main points. We told you that Governor Biodun Oyèbánjí has renewed his commitment to human capital development. It was in the bulletin that Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has approved 1 billion naira loan scheme for cooperative societies and SMEs. You also heard that no fewer than 30 persons were killed today by gunmen in Plateau State. Lastly, on the news at 3, we informed you that the Ghana Football Association has sacked Chris Hilton as head coach of the senior national team with immediate effect. Join hands with Ekiti State government to move the state forward by paying your taxes and rates. That's the news at 3 as put together by the production team and edited by Shola Olorunlana. I am Olayinka Ilori. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.